Hi, and welcome back. Are you ready to get social? All right, two things I want you to do to start with. I want you to scroll down to the downloads area of this video and print off today's worksheet and grab something to write with. Pen, pencil, crayon, sidewalk chalk, whatever suits you, okay? Go ahead and pause the video now while you print that out. All set? I want you to take immediate action. You know that I'm not a sit on the sidelines girl, study it all by watching all the videos and then later go back and do it. I know, because I've done that and I never made progress forward. So what I want you to do is be ready to fill out this form as we're talking. I'm not going to notice if you pause me every 30 seconds, or I'm not going to notice if you're scribbling hastily instead of hanging on my every word. I want your goal today to be to get some hard and fast answers down on this worksheet to the following questions. What should be your goals for using social media? Today, I want you to focus on nothing lofty. I want you to focus on nothing idealistic. I want you to focus on things that are going to be the most meaningful for you personally and you in your life as a writer. The kinds of goals that you might want to think about are getting more readers. Maybe the reason you want to be on a Facebook or a blog or Twitter or Pinterest or Instagram is so that you can find new readers to engage into your tribe and read books, have them read your books. Maybe a goal for you is to sell more books. Maybe a goal would be to build credibility or authority in your genre. Maybe you want to connect with other leaders in the industry where you're writing already. So if you're a romance writer, maybe you want to connect with somebody who's already on the romance New York Times bestsellers list. Using social media is a wonderful way to make connections with people you may have otherwise set up into the lofty cloud as untouchable. Maybe you would like to establish good writing habits by posting regularly on social media, or maybe you want to make new friends. This is one of the ways that I use social media to reach out, because I'm actually finding my little introverted self is able to make connections, establish trust, and develop conversations with people who live around the globe. And that feeds my soul for some reason. So whatever your top 3 reasons are for getting ready to dive into using social media, I want you to jot them down in the top part of this page. Next, how will you measure success? This is all about feeling that return on your investment of time and energy, and in some cases money if you want to build a professional platform. How will you measure that success? A couple of ways you might think about is building followers. The number of people who follow you on your different networks or who receive your blog by email or by a notice saying that something new has been posted there. Maybe you want to measure your success by the number of comments that each of your posts garners, or the number of times your posts get shared to other people's networks. Maybe you're a business person and you want to measure success by book sales, the actual dollars and cents that wind up in your bank account as a result of your activity on social media. Maybe you are writing in the nonfiction genre and you want to leverage new clients for your business by building authority and credibility as a book author. Maybe you want to leverage speaking engagements at local organizations or at national or international organizations. Or finally, maybe you want to build your author platform in order to help land a very lucrative book deal with a major publishing house. These are all very good reasons to, very good measures of success for your participation in social media. But it needs to be the measure that you're going to use, and it's very personal. For me, I love that engagement. I find making new friends and having those conversations. So the engagement, the comments, and the shares are what's most meaningful for me. And then when it comes time to release a new book or go out to an author event on the weekend, having those sales, for me, are very meaningful. Next on the list, what's your ideal time frame to achieve those goals? Now, I know some of you are very much in the throes of finishing up your book, so maybe your ideal time frame is sometime as fast as the next 3 to 6 months. If that's the case, then you're going to want to time warp everything in the recommendations here and take action as soon as possible to start building up your platform of raving fans. But maybe your time frame is more like 6 to 12 months or 1 to 3 years. Perhaps you want to wait until your book is completely done and packaged and a finished project. That's okay too. The time frames are up to you. Or who knows, maybe you're on an even longer timeline. Maybe you just want to have this sometime in the next 3 to 5 years. If that's the case, you may start slow and build over time, but I'm still going to recommend that you invest in at least one network. Try to learn one network really well and really dig into that one rather than touching several networks just a little bit apiece. You're going to find, no matter what you do, you're going to find more traction when you dig deep into one network or one platform rather than try to spread yourself too thin. All right, next question for you. I want you to create 3 or fewer specific audiences that will be your reader's market. Who are you trying to target with your book? Now, I've worked with many authors who feel like, you know what, anybody could read my book and benefit from my book. Well, maybe anybody could, but the truth of the matter is you're going to have better, quicker, and more effective sales and marketing messages if you reach out to 1 or 2 specific target markets, because blanketing the entire world with marketing messages is going to waste your time, your energy, and your money, and not create enough raving fans in any one specific area to get the word-of-mouth referrals that will really create a wildfire out of the burning bush that is your book or your future book. So I want you to think first, what gender is your ideal reader, male or female? Or perhaps you're writing for one of the GLBT, Q, what all of the letters are these days, one of those kinds of audiences. Own it. Whatever your best reader, your ideal reader, whatever gender or non-gender that identifies with, you want to own that segment because that's the fastest way to spread your message. What age is your ideal reader? For broad generalities, I'm going to suggest some age groups for you. 0 to 6, 6 to 10, 10 to 14, age 14 to 18, 18 all the way up to 35, 35 to, let's say, 49, 50 to 64, and 65 and over. Now, you can have some overlap, or maybe you want to broaden this out. Maybe you'd like to reach readers from 35 to 65. That's okay. Feel free to broaden here. But I want to suggest that the demographic research supports narrower age categories of readers that you target, the better and more effective your outreach will be. What is the education level of your ideal reader? If you're making high-level political references within your book, it may not, for example, be in your best interest to target students or adults with less than a high school education. Make sense? Okay, so think of this in terms of school education up through high school graduation, someone with some college, someone with a completed college degree or associate's degree, someone with post-grad work, or someone who is an elite professional. Okay? And then finally, what are the socioeconomic elements of your ideal reader? You might think of this in terms of finances, or you may have some other terms that work well too. Is your ideal reader someone in the luxury elite, someone in the upper class, someone upper middle class, just middle class, lower middle class, poverty level or below poverty level, when you are able to identify the perfect reader for your book, you will be able so much faster and so much easier to reach that reader and make a connection to them and get referrals for your writing and how much they have gained from reading your work, and it will create a bond where they will want to share and spread the good news about what you have to write. All right, next. This one you can pause and spend a little more time with. I would love for you to create a list of 10 keywords or phrases that will describe your brand, the personality of you, or your writing, or both, okay? You can mix and match here. And if you're feeling in an adjective-free zone, I'll remind you, we got a list of character traits back in, was that Module 3, I think? You can pull out that worksheet. There were some positive, neutral, and negative character traits, and that may jumpstart your imagination. But just to, I'll give you my examples, things I was using, things that describe me or my writing. I chose some keywords, romantic, funny, witty, charismatic, yeah, right in my dreams, and snarky. And then I thought, okay, beyond that, what kind of keywords or search terms would someone who could benefit from my writing, what would they be searching for on the internet or on Google, okay? And that prompted me to think about the key elements and topics from the books that I'm writing. So maybe for the romance novel, I would want to think in terms of music, flute or guitar, or the location of my book, like Greece or the Greek islands. Make sense? All right. If you have not been filling out this worksheet as I've gone through this video, I want you to hit pause right now. I want you to hit it so hard it's going to just, well, no, I don't want you to hit your computer. I'd like you to stop and take advantage of this opportunity to move ahead leaps and bounds in understanding for yourself what you want for your writing and what your dreams are for connecting with readers beyond the 3 feet around you. Okay? I really hope you'll take this seriously. So go ahead and fill out those 10 characteristics now, because this is the best and fastest way for you to get the most out of this course. Then finally, after you've got those 10 characteristics, I want you to sit and set a timer, no more than 5 minutes. With me? Timer for 5 minutes. And I want you to create a fast little draft of a short biography about you as the author. I want it to describe you, the value you give to a reader, and have this bio align with your own value systems and your goals, okay? Now, because of the kinds of social media networks that I'm going to introduce in the next video, I want you to try and craft this bio to be no more than 140 characters. And by characters, I mean letters and spaces and numbers, okay? And this is going to be very brief. So to give you an example of something 140 characters, not words, characters or less, here's one that I think describes me. I help people realize their dream of becoming a published author while creating meaningful and well-crafted stories that change lives. All right? One easy sentence, one quick sentence anyway, whether it's easy is up to you. That one weighs in at 134 characters, so it almost utilizes all of 140. And the primary reason for choosing 140 is that's the length of a tweet that's allowed on the Twitter platform. And it will give you a good, concise author bio that you can use in any platform beyond that as well. So why not be the most efficient as possible? All right, I hope you are ready to dive right in, create those 10 adjectives about your brand and your writing and you, and then finally that 140 character or less author biography. When you've got that done, I invite you to come back to the next video where I'm going to take you on a guided tour of some of the internet's top performing social media networks for you to plug in. Can't wait to see you there. I'm Demi Stevens. Write with joy.